The building mystery. A dead body is found at the bottom of a multi-story building. It looks quite clear that the person has committed suicide by jumping off from one of the floors. A detective goes to the first floor and walks in the room facing the direction in which the body was found. He opens the closed window of that room and flips a coin towards the floor. He goes to the second floor and does the exact same thing till the last floor. Then, when he climbs down, he tells the team that it is a murder, not suicide. How does he know that? Answer: if she had jumped out of the window, then how come all the windows were closed? The cottage mystery. An old man lived alone in a small cottage. One certain Thursday morning, while the mailman was delivering a letter, he found out that the old man is murdered. He immediately calls the cops. When the cops arrive at the scene, they find 2 bottles of milk, Monday's newspaper, a catalog, flyers, and unopened mail. The police find the suspect. Who is the suspect and why? Answer: they suspect the newspaper boy, as Tuesday's and Wednesday's newspapers were missing. The court mystery. A man is in court for killing his wife. In the closing statements, the man's lawyer surprises everyone when he announces his wife was just missing. Everyone look at those doors. His wife is going to walk in those doors in about 30 seconds. The entire court is silent and the jury stares at the door as the lawyer and the defendant stares at the jury. After a couple of minutes, the lawyer says, "See. If you were so sure he killed his wife, you wouldn't be watching that door." The judge and the jury immediately gave a guilty verdict. Why did the jury convict him? Answer: the man was guilty because he was watching the jury and not the door, as he knew she wouldn't come. The recorder mystery. A man was found dead with a cassette recorder in one hand and a gun in the other. When the police came in, they immediately pressed the play button on the cassette. He said, "I have nothing else to live for. I can't go on." Then the sound of a gunshot. After listening to the cassette tape, the police knew that it was not a suicide. How did they know? Answer: if the person died, then who pressed the reverse button? The honeymoon mystery. A couple went on for their honeymoon trip. But only the husband returned from the vacation and said that his wife met an unfortunate accident and died. The police arrested him saying, "Your travel agent called. You murdered your wife." How did the agent know that it was a murder? Answer: the man had booked only one-way ticket for his wife. The burglary mystery. A couple reported a robbery. The husband told the policeman that he thinks that the burglar presumably entered the house by breaking through the window, pointing to the broken window glasses on the outside of the house. The policeman noticed that the inside of the house only a few tiny pieces of window glass particles scattered around near the broken window area, and told him that it was not a burglary and no outsider has entered his house through that window. What made the policeman so sure? Answer: when a window is broken from the outside by a thief, most of the glass will be found on the inside of the house, not on the outside of the house. The ship mystery. A Japanese ship was en route to the open sea. The captain went for a shower, removing his ring and keeping it on the table. When he returned, he found it had gone missing. The captain immediately called the 3 suspected crew members and asked each one where they were and what were they doing in the last 15 minutes. The cook said, "I was in fridge room getting meat for cooking." The engineer, "I was working on generator engine." The seaman said, "I was on the mast correcting the flag, which was upside down, by mistake." The radio officer said, "I was messaging to a company about the arrival." The navigation officer said, "I was sleeping in my cabin." The captain immediately caught the thief. How? Answer: it's Japanese ship, so it has a Japanese flag, and Japanese flag is the same upside down. The apple mystery. A serial killer invited a prospective victim to her place. They ate together, and after the meal, She offered her an apple. When she refused, she insisted that they share the apple. So, she took the apple and cut into 2 halves. Both of them started eating the apple. As soon as her guest ate the apple, she died. If both of them had the same apple, how come one died and one survived? Answer. She used a knife coated with just on one edge with cyanide/poison. When she sliced the apple in 2, only the victim's half was poisoned. The border mystery. Every day, a man used to cross the border on a bicycle with 2 bags of sand. The border officers got a tip that he is a smuggler. So the customs officers checked his and found they had only sand. As they could not find any evidence, they allowed him to cross the border. So, what was the man smuggling? Answer. He was smuggling bicycles. The tea mystery. A woman was horrified to find a fly in her tea. The waiter took her cup and went into the kitchen and returned with a fresh cup of tea. She shouted, "It's a fraud. You brought me the same cup of tea." How did she know? Answer. She had already added sugar to her tea. The hospital mystery. Who shot her? Cried a man as he rushed into the hospital where his wife was kept. The man was stopped by the police, who asked him where he was last night. He told them he had an alibi as he was spending the night at a friend's place. He told them that when he called to check on his wife, the maid answered the call and just told him that his wife has been taken to the hospital. And as soon as he heard this, he came running to the hospital. After hearing this, the police immediately arrested him. Why? Answer. As soon as he entered the hospital, she cried, "Who shot her?" How would he know that she was shot when no one informed him so? The chemical mystery. A famous chemist was found murdered. The case looked easy, and the police knew that 2 people were involved in the murder. They found a clue, a note that written by the chemist, which read 26-3-58/28-27-57-16. After reading the note, the police immediately caught the murderers. How? Answer. The numbers correspond to atomic numbers on the periodic table of elements, Feliceux/Nicolas. Therefore, the name of the suspects was Felice and Nicholas.